Hello there, this is Yogi, and today let's continue talking about hard conversations. There's a big, there is a big misconception that hard conversations are unpleasant. They're actually not. Sometimes they're just uncomfortable. An example is if you want to appreciate someone that you have not appreciated for some time or never, it's a hard conversation. I'm working with somebody. I'm actually doing some coaching sessions with somebody who is having a hard time appreciating their mom, their dad, and their partner. And it's actually they appreciate them, they value them, but they've never said, they've never told them they appreciate them in those words. And they thought, oh, we'll be able to do it. But in my experience, those conversations are very hard. I had real difficulty in the beginning telling my wife how much I appreciate her, how much I'm grateful to her, how much I love her. And actually, then very difficult, even more difficult to tell my dad and my father how appreciative I am of him, of what all he has done in our life. And it took me quite some time to lean into those hard conversations and slowly start to have them. They're uncomfortable, they're very pleasant once we had them, but they were still hard. Now, what to do when you run into that situation? So philosophically, I believe when something is hard for you and that you cannot do, then there's always a step that is smaller step that you can do, which makes progress towards the bigger thing. Okay, there is a quote by mathematician George Polya who says, if there's a problem you cannot solve, then there is a smaller problem that if you solve the smaller problem, it will make progress toward the bigger problem. And your next job is to find the smaller problem. So, what is the smaller challenge that we have when doing these hard conversations, uncomfortable conversation to appreciate someone? Number one, you want to just consciously notice what you appreciate about the other person. Feel, oh, how do I feel? Oh, they do this. I really appreciate them for that. The person I'm coaching, for them is, my mom is so caring towards everybody in the family, towards me, and just feeling that. How do you feel emotionally in your body, in your that. Second is write, journal specifically what you appreciate. So first noticing, then writing, and beside writing, you can also speak in front of the mirror. You can speak those just for yourself. How does it sound when you say it? It'll sound very awkward in the beginning, but it's a matter of practice before you start to become comfortable with it. And the third step is to actually communicate it to the person you want to communicate with. That's the holy grail. But even there, you can start to appreciate small things instead of large life philosophical things or bigger things that they have done for you. You can start to appreciate small things, like you heated bread for me this morning. I really, really appreciate that. So small things you can one can do. So three things were consciously thinking about and feeling how the appreciation feels like in your body, noticing that. Second was write and speak those for yourself, and then third was actually speaking it to the other person, but first start with small and then going for bigger. So here it is. Hard conversations don't have to be unpleasant. They can be very pleasant, but uncomfortable, unusual. And we can take steps to make them easier. And of course, the other things we have talked about in hard conversations, they all apply here also. But these are some additional things that I thought will be helpful for this specific subclass of conversations that people misunderstand that, oh, they're not hard if you're appreciating somebody. All right. Thank you. And I will see you another time.